Hello, my friends, and welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Well, we will see what's happening today. Today it's like Sunday because Wall Street is closed and the US they have holiday. So a happy Independence Day to all Americans out there, and hopefully you enjoy the day with your family, your friends, and hopefully, yes, just enjoying the weather. Hopefully, you have a good one, and yeah, having a nice day. Well, we will start to analyze a little bit the market to see what's going to happen next. In my opinion, we are on track. You remember last Saturday, I have said what could be the next possible scenario, and I said we need to retest that area here at 19 actually, and even it could happen that we have a bear trap or something. Well, I'm not sure if that was a bear trap or just a scam, whatever. And I said that a potential scenario I would like to trade would be a double top. If we can, after we retested and we did such kind of double bottom, but I wouldn't say that is a double bottom, that's just nothing. But they are trying to break again the 20k. I have mentioned several times 20k is going to be very, very challenging for the Bulls. They failed here as well. They tried again. Bears are pushing again the price down. However, I still think that's possible to go up to make that double top and then really to have a hard, maybe even last big nuke, but something we can't say yet and we need to check. So we are still on track. Um, I'm shorting at the moment. Not really the best entry because I thought, well, maybe we're going to make it very trivial and short-term swing trade, double top here and then down. So it's coming back to my entry position. Maybe I'm going to close and to wait if we can go even more up, or otherwise just maintain that one and take the remaining funds and put them here. However, but that's at the moment what we are doing. We are still, since we arrived to that area here, that's our trade range at the moment. We tried here once, we failed, as we are, it seems, failing right now here. So bears really trying to push the price down and bulls trying to push the price up, because both sides are, in my opinion, essentially for both. If we maintain above, if we can go above of 21.8, it would be bullish, in my opinion. When I say bullish, doesn't mean we are going to 30, 40, 50, 60. I don't know why some people are now talking about 30k. In my opinion, we are not going to see 30k for a long, long time. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that's going to happen. And so if we could retest that area, maintain a little bit, that wouldn't be that bad. On the other side, just checking and taking into account the recent data we have checked last weekend and even what happened since yesterday, I think the most realistic scenario is really the double top here and then just, directly. I don't know. Some people are asking me what could be the next, what could be the bottom? Is the bottom in? I mean, let us trade from day to day because the bottom is in means for me for a whole cycle the bottom is in. The bottom is in. we go up to, I don't know, maybe 100,000. It's not going to happen. For me, the bottom is not in. Not yet, at least. Maybe 17.7 is the bottom, but we need to confirm the 17.7. So as long we don't confirm the 77, it's nothing. It's not in. Nothing is in. We need to check and trade the market and not trade our expectations, not trade our wishes or whatever. And that's, I think, like patience is key. It's exactly the same key strategy to trade successful. Let us go forward and let us take a look what I already have mentioned on Twitter. Something that's really, really, really pain in the ass in my opinion, because um, if we check what happened here, let me adjust the line. So now it's correct. Yeah, now it's correct. A little bit more down. Okay. So um, over the last 2 weeks, and that's what we did, we have noticing that the weights ratio was lifting up again, indicating weights are still accumulating, it seems, bitcoins on exchanges and preparing the next big nuke. And last time we did from here to here 23%. That was almost the same level we did last year before we started the scam bull run, because it was a scam bull run just driven by FTX. And after we retraced, and I thought, well, I mean, if that's it, the bottom is in. You know, whales are done, everything is fine. But no, instead we are maintaining that area, and bears are really doing everything to maintain that low area and are at the same time preparing, it seems, the next bearish move. And I think it's going to hurt even more than last time. So I can imagine that even if we go back to that area afterwards, we will go down even more. I don't know how far. I don't know if it's going to be 16, 15, 12, 5, 3. I really don't know. That's something I can't tell you. That's something because the whole environment is changing right now. We are trading in a low range. Of course, lower range means also that you can buy more bitcoins for less money. So if they want to nuke more, they need even more bitcoins. Because of course the price is attracting more and more whales to buy in. And it's very difficult just based on TA. I mean, we can check some supports, former supports, or you know, now supports, old all-time highs, resistance, whatever. Historically, that could make sense for us, and that could be maybe the next target, and then maybe it's the bottom in, but it's too early, in my opinion, now to start to talk about bottom is in. So let us go forward and let us check what's happening to the wealth ratio 1 hour time frame. They are actually doing it again. If we check the wealth ratio 1 hour, every time when the wealth ratio declines, what happens exactly? We lift up every time. Well, what happened here, in my opinion, was also part of a preparation. Even here we have here and here that sometimes gives you some swing trades like we are doing again. And that's what the wealth ratio 1 hour time frame frequently gives you, indicates you, and that's really, really good. The last dump, you remember I have mentioned that, just did that here, and that was a huge dump driven by whales. Otherwise, that can't work. And even if we see such kind of yeah, I would say little drops below of 80, that means they are also sending less bitcoins because they want to push less the Bitcoin price down, and that let the price go up a bit more. So at the moment, the weights ratio is declining again, so I think we will push a little bit more, and that could even confirm my double top scenario. But it's too early yet to say that because at the moment, bulls are not aggressive enough, and bears are really pushing the price down. We can check the volume, and we will see what's happening. If we check the weights ratio 30 hours moving average, we see that it was lifting up and it's declining now just because of this little retrace in weights ratio 1 hour. At the moment we are trading on 87, that's high but not that high. If we check here, that's our, well, that looks like really as it would skyrocketing at the moment, but it doesn't. So if we check that, we can see that the stablecoin supply maintains relatively low. It has lifted up a little bit, but really it's a tiny move. And at the same time, the stablecoin reserves on exchanges has lifted up and it's declining right now, indicating no more, at least, the net flow stablecoins to exchanges is negative again, indicating more outflows than inflows. And that's it. Let us take a look to the flow activity. So, what we can see here is the usual correlation between inflows and outflows. I have mentioned that in my past analysis, why that happens. And we can see here inflow of 156 million US dollars and stablecoins, while 140 millions in outflows. Just in the last few hours before we have started, or while we have started to lift up, we have received just, it's not that big, but taking into account that today is holiday in the US, it's not that low. We have received, for example, 1,700 bitcoins here, then 4,000, almost 4,200 bitcoins here, and 900 bitcoins afterwards. So we are talking about in 3 hours just almost yeah, almost 7,000 bitcoins. Another 900 afterwards. Then we dropped to 300, and now it's lifting up again to 600. So they were preparing, they knew, and that's the most important thing, is they know what's going to happen next. And that indicates as well that the whole thing, what's happening now, is just, I mean, they are absolutely fine with let the price go up and to sell the top and let the prime decline a little bit. Then they start to reduce the sell pressure, let the price go up again. Of course, not only because of retailers, also because of other whales. Some people are still thinking, like in the past, that whales are generating fear just because of retailers. In my opinion, everything what's happening right now doesn't have anything to do with retailers. First of all, because a lot of retailers just gone. They have they left the market just few months ago, and even if we will take a look to the future market, and I have mentioned that also in my past analysis that even the future volume declined, indicating that less market actors are active right now. So it's just between big whales and smaller whales and less about retailers. It's not about retailers. Not at all. Absolutely not. I think we are still on track and we are still uh, in an environment where the price is showing us as yeah strategic goal by some big institutionals or something. They just want to push the price down instead and maintain. We have some quick accumulations, but nothing really big at the moment. So not indicating that we are right now in an accumulation phase, in my opinion. We will check the entities afterwards. We will take a look to other data as well. So we need to see how that plays out. In my opinion, they have accumulated a lot of bitcoins on exchanges, and they are chilling at the moment. They don't let the price go up too much. If they let the price go up, then just with the agreement or with bears agree and very controlled. If they push up very hard, they start to push the price down hard as well, and then they let the price go up slowly again. So that's what's happening at the moment. Let us take a look to the futures. So, well, we can see here that while the funding rate was declining, the open interest was lifting up, and even the leverage ratio. That's something that's very interesting because that would actually indicate that many were demanding more shorts than longs. We will take a look to Binance because their long-short ratio looks still too bearish. Too bearish, I mean too many people, and really I'm talking about 64 to 36, so 64% longs and 36% shorts. And that's usually bearish. Only if, and that's something that's happening, they are scalping longs and shorts all the time. Uh, what exchanges could attract to wreck all these people. Because an institutional or even a whale doesn't have any big personal benefit on wrecked you. Only if he knows that they have a huge volume, for example, close to the price, and they can push up the price to liquidate all of them and then push the price, for example, if they liquidate shorts, to push the price up and to distribute at the same time the way up, for example. That would be a strategy related to institutionals or whales, something I don't see. So, in my opinion, the exchanges itself are just kicking balls all the time. That's my opinion. Like FTX, I guess Binance is part of it, and some others just to liquidate their own clients to make money with that. It's just a theory, as usual, my opinion. Well, if we take a look here, for example, let me adjust that. Stablecoin to derivatives, nothing big, everything almost below 100 million. Only the outflows are bigger, but that's it. So really nothing. And even here related to bitcoins, that shows very well that today in the US is a holiday because yeah, the US is the market driver here. It's not the European or something. I have to laugh a little bit when people are now trying to FOMO with a European spot ETF. To be honest, okay, nice to have, but it's not going to drive the market at all. It's the US mainly. So yeah, also here nothing big happening. Let us take a look to the wow. Let us take a look to the blockchain whispers. As you know, I don't care about Bitfinex and even BitMEX, just you the volume here and you the stupidity of long and shorts. But Binance, because not only the market makers using Binance to the liquidity, but also retailers, just to see the masses and so on and so forth. So at the moment, let me refresh the site because maybe something changed. And we can start here to request the Binance liquidation map. So, wow, it changed a lot. That's crazy. Okay. So while we were trading below, yeah, at 19.2, we had almost 64 to 36 along short ratio, so 64% longs and just 36% shorts. Now the shorts lifted up by 10% and longs declined by 10% almost. Still too many longs, but that's fine. I mean, it's nothing, sometimes I really feel sad just to short at 19.5, for example, because yeah, just 6 months ago we were just trading, much higher and people still expecting we could make 100,000 and now we are trading 19.8. And so it's obvious that some people still think the bottom is in, and that's partly why longs are still leading here. But yeah, shorts are rising. Let us take a look here. Wow, what happened here? Didn't you load the liquidity map? Let us take a look. But nice volume is coming in right now. Well, it's okay. It's not that big as I thought. So let us take a look. I guess that as soon as we break the 20k, many will flip to bullish. Because I'm reading some tweets, oh, Bitcoin is flirting with 20k. Oh, something is going to happen, something big. And of course, related to something bullish and not bearish. But just related to what I'm seeing, weights ratio, 30 days moving average, and so on and so forth. I'm sorry, but no. Shorts, longs. Let us take a look if that correlates also to some big positions to FTX. We have here one, we have here one, we have here one, and we have here one. Indicating high volume longs, not high leverage. At least I would say that's maybe here 25 and then reducing. So maybe that's here 5, 3 or something. And then we have here relatively high leverage short positions, but not that big. So let us take a look if that correlates once again with FTX. As usual, that takes a little bit. And sometimes a little bit longer. And here we go. No, That's interesting. I mean, this one, yes, and even this one here. So we can say this one, so this one, and this one. But I would say this one not, at least not the volume, if even, and this one not. So it seems we have someone longing on FTX and Binance at the same time. While FTX shorts, like at Binance, okay, we had here a higher volume, but it's almost dead. So really more on the long side. That's really interesting. And that could maybe verify a little bit my scenario of the 21, so 20,800 or 21, and then, you know, maybe this time maintain a little bit more that area and then nuke or something. We need to see. So let us go forward with option. So if we check what FTX is doing, we see that first of all, the aggregated spot is still lifting up. That's not bearish at all, but we need always to see who is doing that. At the same time, Bitcoin collateral futures is doing exactly the same, while, well, of course, stablecoin futures are driving the markets as usual. So we can see here what the market is doing and how it correlates very well to that. At the same time, we know that if TX did here a big deal, just absorbing almost 2,500 bitcoins, it seems, in my opinion, they were very well prepared and they knew that something would try here to nuke, and they prevented it. Instead, right now we are lifting up. They were here distributing. Now I wouldn't say they were the big architect of the recent move, but they bought a little bit more of spot. And to be honest, I'm a little bit scared about that because usually, and that wouldn't be something new, is that FTX at certain point does that here. But also here, just too early to say that. So let us take a look to the others. Let me check the 30 minutes. That was Gemini. Gemini also buying with delay, so FOMOing a little bit, it seems. But at the same time, really buying nothing big. We are not talking about big volume. Binance, we can see Binance and also not big, absolutely not big. But also here, if we check, look what the spot ETFs, what they did. Afterwards go up, then decline, then decline, then go up again, then go up again. So who is driving the market? Yeah, almost to 95%, I would say it's Binance. Absolutely. Very interesting. So let us go to Bitfinex. What is Bitfinex doing? And if we check, for example, yeah, they were, I would say, perfect in timing as usual. Look that. Wow. Not bad. However, also not a big deal, to be honest. And that's it. That's here. just Binance Perp, and the funding rate is declining right now. We know that. However, also very interesting. Let us take a look because the market maker was also very active. I'm not sure, we need to check, but I think we can't see that yet. If he did some purchases here or he was selling, in my opinion, because it matches very well if we take a look. We received July 4th at 12 o'clock, 3,384. It's their fund flow, and now we check the flow activity. So at 12 o'clock, wow. At 12 o'clock, we received 4,179 bitcoins, and that matches very well, 4,700. So it seems that every three entities send bitcoins to spot exchanges to sell. Oh, sorry. Very interesting. Since then, nothing. The other entities, of course, they started to sell, but nothing big. Let us go back to the flow activity because that was huge. 250 million. Wow, that's big. And 250 million stablecoin outflows. The problem here is we can't say 250 millions are almost, I don't know, 12,000 bitcoins because just to drive the markets, you need, of course, also to sell Ethereum, to sell alts, not only Bitcoin. So we don't know if these 250 millions were just related to Bitcoins. I doubt it. However, at the same time, we received 170 millions. If we go to the minute, we can see what's happening. So at the moment they are outflowing here stable coins, and we received here 75 millions again because they were selling here and selling more and more and more, and that's why they sent more stable coins afterwards. So for example, here we received 216 bitcoins. What was that here? 30 bitcoins, that's nothing. 130, 120, 120, now here 260, well, and so on and so forth. So the last one, 30 million stablecoin outflows. So selling here, that still looks like distribution in my opinion. That's crazy to say that they are still distributing at 20k. It's really, yeah, but it is what it is. So let us go forward to the entities. And we can take a look. I have mentioned that, for example, today, that after the market maker lifted up and balance it's reduced it again. So it's too early, but we know what they do. They buy quick to nuke afterwards. That's institutional step. And we can see here the whales transaction count with more than 1 million USD in bitcoins. And these guys show you very well they are the main drivers. It's transactions. We don't know if they are buying or selling, but I think that's a combination of both, buying and selling. However, the whole activity is a nice indicator to show you if they are preparing something, for example. The activity was rising, but it's declining right now. Even here in the top, almost very, very, very low volume. It's also very interesting. Very interesting. So let us go forward and take a look to the exchange walls. We start as usual with Coinbase, and we see that Coinbase is trying here to, well, and it changed. However, they are here trying to push the price up and don't let the price go up, go down. However, if we zoom out, we will see here, I have changed the color, of course. Um, you can see here a lot of buy orders waiting to get triggered. And many of these walls are relatively new, like this one, like this one. They reinforce them. Usually when they start to reinforce very close to the price means they are expecting, I don't know if they are watching my analysis, but they are expecting a push down in my opinion. We see here on Derivate still at 21.2. I wouldn't say they are waiting with sell orders here and 29. So 21 is really going to be, if we go up, in my opinion, it will bounce here. If we maintain a little bit there, it will nuke afterwards. I'm just because of the Wales ratio 30 days moving average, I'm at the moment short-term bullish just because of my scenario, but hell, bearish. Also here 21.6 on Bitstamp, Binance Spot. What's happening with my PC? Wow. Also here, exactly the same like Binance, reinforcing that wall, reinforcing that wall, reinforced that wall, and we have this wall. Um, some walls to, yeah, one wall at 20, another wall at 2500, but nothing big at 21, and so on and so forth. Bitfinex spot, just a wall at 18, and the next one 16. They are now pushing more to the downside. FTX perp, wow, FTX limiting at 21.6, limiting at 21. That would match. So I mean, I'm trading. I'm actually waiting for the 21 to go. Not all in, but with my remaining funds, just put them all there in short. And 17 next, 18.7 as well. Kraken spot 20 and 1 and 21 and waiting at 18. BitMEX 2300, 21, a little one at 19, and the next one 17. Bitfinex derivatives, nothing. No. Kraken futures, nothing. FTX spot, below of 17, a lot of stuff. 17 to 15.5 would match to some expectations of 16. As mentioned, I don't say anything about that. I just want to trade the market and don't to trade my beers or some expectations. 16, of course, 10, 12. We have different possible targets we need to see. And we have here a little, what's that? FTX spot at 20,300. Ah, yeah, okay, would also match very well to my scenario. Yeah, very interesting. They stopped here at 21,200, so we need to see. And we go to Binance Futures, and on Binance Futures we can see a lot. I mean, the market maker loves to use Binance and futures. As mentioned, they need a lot of stuff to push up hard. So, wow. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, to be honest. And the next one, 16.3 and 15.6. Wow, that's incredible. That's really big. And the last time they did that, what happened? Hmm. Looks very similar, to be honest. And then maybe go to the 16. We need to see, but I wanna be ready and not miss it, to be honest. We had here. What the hell? We are talking. No, that. Wait, that's not possible. That's futures. A total volume in that 1 hour candle of 77,000 bitcoins. They bought 40,000 and sold almost 37. Wow, that's big. That's really big. Okay, we had that one that was 127,000. That was actually much bigger, of course. Yeah, interesting, interesting. That's it. Let us talk about my personal conclusion.